Hello. Hello from the pandemic exiled world of Metal Trade's headquarters. I'm Jimmy Hart, and welcome to Facebook Live. It's my goal, with this and every ensuing broadcast, to further the social media experience for workers in the hope of creating a free and open exchange of ideas. Let's talk about your ideals and issues, and let's do it among like-minded and dissimilar individuals and speak about how those ideals affect workers, their unions, their employers, and their families' daily lives. Each week, it's my intent to get on Facebook Live to talk to you about the issues of the day that affect middle class and working America. I've been motivated to do so by the spirited debates that I've thoroughly enjoyed over the past years with supporters and detractors alike over my positions and policy views. I welcome you to say hello and comment during this segment. No worker or labor-related topic is out of bounds. All I request is that you conduct yourself with decorum and refrain from profanity. So, let's get going. Who am I? I'm just a plumber from Brooklyn who's gotten to live my dream because of my union. I am the president of the Metal Trades Department of the AFL-CIO in Washington, D.C., and I am a proud and lucky guy to represent and advocate on behalf of some of the world's most talented and productive manufacturing, production, and industrial workers and craftsmen throughout North America. The pandemic has been the defining feature of 2020. And President Trump has been the dominant noisemaker over the past 4 years. I, for one, am not going to stick my head in the sand and pretend that these two events haven't defined the country that we live and work in. In a week chock full of mixed emotions, processing all of the news has been tough. I'm frankly still maddened, saddened, and perplexed each time I see photos of the mob freely having their way in desecrating the hallowed halls of the United States Congress. And why? All due to fuel provided by the words and lies of our Commander-in-Chief. Yet, I'm still buoyed by the amazing Senate victories of John Ossoff and the Reverend Raphael Warnock in Georgia. Stacey Abrams showed us how to make a difference, and unions went and made a big difference in the Georgia runoffs. Volunteers from across the labor movement stepped up and helped win back the Senate for the Democrats and the working families of America. Now it's time for us to hold our allies in Congress responsible to do the right thing, pass the PRO Act, organize workers, deliver COVID relief, end the pandemic, get the vaccine disseminated amongst the masses. Let's pass an infrastructure bill and put the people back to work in good paying jobs. Let's address student loans. Let's address the health of the American economy. And just as importantly, this week, I can't explain to you the joy and pride associated with working men and women who truly appreciate President-elect Joe Biden's appointment of Boston Mayor and LiUNA, the laborers' member, Marty Walsh, as Secretary of Labor. Marty will be a great Secretary of Labor because he comes from the trenches and he worked with the tools. He knows who you are, you know him, he knows how you feel, and he will be the greatest asset in government for workers in many a generation. But first things first, most of us knew that President Trump's presidency would end badly. It had to. There were just too many lies, too many conspiracy theories, too many unprecedented negative events, and too many Americans taking it all in and being aghast as they sat in their living rooms and learned from their cable news pundits how low we can go, not only in the eyes of the world, but in our own eyes. Normally, the U.S. Congress count of electoral votes is typically one of the least remarkable moments in a presidential handover. That all changed on January 6th, when pro-Trump extremists staged an assault on the Capitol building and democracy itself. And why? Because President Trump started this all before he even was elected 4 years ago, during his campaign. When you spread hatred and distrust and division, don't be surprised at the ugliness. This is the product of years of placing wedges in every crack in society. President Trump has demonstrated time and time again that he does not possess the temperament or the gravitas to lead our country, let alone the free world. The insurrection events on January the 6th and the death of 5 people are just one more example of that debilitating temperament. Brothers and sisters, friends and neighbors, family, America is hurting. Turning the other cheek won't bring us unity. America must be healed first. Justice is one of the medications prescribed. Every demonstrator who entered the Capitol building on Wednesday must be arrested and charged with federal crimes. They are, simply put, domestic terrorists. President Trump must be removed from office and must not remain one day longer. Furthermore, it must be noted that in addition to Wednesday's failed insurrection, and even after seditious incited mob violently stormed the halls of government, 8 GOP U.S. senators and 139 members of the U.S. House of Representatives still voted to uphold the same lies about the illegitimacy of the President-elect Biden's election victory. This betrayal of American values and the public trust by its elected officials must not be ignored. And I call upon all in the metal trades and all in organized labor to devote their political efforts to defeating them at the polls in 2022 and beyond. It's not lost on me that President Trump spoke behind bulletproof glass for security reasons while speaking to an angry, revved-up mob. While our elected legislative officials and our children and neighbors and kids who serve as staff and our neighbors who work to support the building were left to basically fend for themselves from a threatening mob. Neither is it lost to me that law enforcement officers died and were hurt due to government indifference at the highest levels of the administration. Unfortunately, this indifference highlighted the inequality that unfortunately still exists in America and is still more fervent than ever. I would submit to you that the ultimate in inequality and white privilege is defined when you've scaled the walls of the Capitol, you've broken through its windows, you've entered the Speaker's office, sat in her chair, put your feet up on her desk, defecated in the hollowed halls and offices of government, desecrated, destroyed, and stole items of institutional legacy, find yourself within 12 inches of a law enforcement officer's barrel of his gun, and guess what? You're not dead or arrested. You get to go home with a selfie with the Capitol Police. That dog don't hunt, brothers and sisters. I'm proud to be among the very first in labor to call upon the Vice President to use the 25th Amendment and remove him from office. President Trump cannot be allowed to stay in office even one more day. Let the lessons of this week of mixed emotions not be wasted. The power of workers is contained within our precious right to vote. Your vote matters. Please use it. We must hold elected officials accountable for their words, their promises, their actions, and votes. When workers vote, workers win, and the promise of prosperity, dignity, and new opportunity becomes ours for the taking when we elect politicians to office that put America's workers, middle class, and small businesses first. These are tough times. I see it every day. I address it and hear it in the voices of the workers I represent and the people that I love. I wish you all good luck. I wish you all Godspeed. If you value our country, I salute you. If you don't, as we say in the old neighborhood, I salute. May God bless America. May God bless its citizens and elected officials. Please stay safe. Keep your families safe. Your influence counts. Use it.